Hello, it is my honor to welcome you to the inaugural Interdisciplinary Education Grand Rounds. I'm Margaret Robinson, the Associate Director for the Office of Interdisciplinary Programs. The Office of Interdisciplinary Programs is housed in the Office of the Vice Provost for Academic Affairs and Faculty Development. Our office is charged with the development, implementation, operation, and evaluation of campus-wide interdisciplinary and interprofessional education requirements. Today, we'll refer to this as IPE, the acronym for interprofessional education. We'll begin shortly, but a few housekeeping items first. So, today's presentation is being recorded. Please remember to mute your microphones and use the chat function to ask any questions during the presentation. But we will also save time at the end for a Q&A. Sarah Cable will be our Zoom facilitator today. You can message her or myself directly with any technical issues today. So without further ado, we will begin. Today's presentation is titled Introduction to Interdisciplinary Grand Rounds. It is our inaugural presentation of this series. Today's presenters are the two co-chairs of the Interdisciplinary Student Council, Dominique Roth and Jeremiah McGuire. These two impressive student leaders have worked with their peers and faculty members, mentors for the past 6 months to launch this programming. Today, they'll share additional details about that journey, but I would like to first recognize and acknowledge their contributions and the strength of their leadership. It has been an honor to work with you both, and we look forward to the rest of this series throughout the academic year. And with that, it is my honor to introduce today's speakers, Dominique and Jeremiah.
Thank you, Margaret, for that wonderful introduction. As you mentioned, this is our very first grand round, and we are so excited to be here on this cold, rainy Thursday to kind of talk to you guys about some of the stuff that the Interdisciplinary Student Council is doing. My name is Dominique Roth, and I am a fourth-year pharmacy student and the current chair of the ISC.
And thank you as well, Margaret. Your introductions are always flawless and they are greatly appreciated. My name is Jeremiah McGuire. I am the vice chair for the Interdisciplinary Student Council for this academic year. I am in my second year of the CPMA in dietetics, as well as my first year in the MS in nutritional sciences through the College of Allied Health. So to begin, we wanted to review essentially what we would be talking about this evening, as this is the inaugural interdisciplinary grand rounds. And we felt the best place to start with that was really talking about the history of the ISC, how it came about, why it was developed. And then we would move into who our current ISC representatives are, as well as our faculty advisors, and highlight those individuals so everyone had a point of contact. Then we want to look at what the ISC has done and has been doing. But then we really wanted to turn our focus to the future, particularly the future of the grand rounds moving forward through the course of this academic year. And then at the end of the presentation, we will have some actionable items for people to take with them and bring back out into the campus community. So of course, the history of any organization is always important and vital, as that really gives us the framework for how we're going to proceed forward. So now we're going to focus a little bit on how this came about. So there was initially a need recognized by students from across the disciplines on campus for student representation to really be a part of the interprofessional education that we were receiving as part of our programs. So the Interprofessional Educators and Practitioners Association is really the governing body for that interprofessional education. And they led the effort to incorporate student participation into how IP initiatives were established and how they were maintained. So this really exposed the need for a new model for how those students were involved within the IEPA, as well as how we could sustain this type of initiative and get representation from all of the different colleges on campus. So once this need was recognized, it was through discussions, and particularly I'd like to highlight Kate Stanton, the Assistant Vice President for HSD Student Affairs. In the discussions were involved faculty and students to really figure out the best way that we could organize this student engagement and make it not only feasible and sustainable, but also effective in its overall purpose. So from those discussions, there was a recommendation for an advisory committee. And then the student faculty committee became a part of the IEPA, was integrated into that. And from that, the ISC was then born. So the Interdisciplinary Student Council is a relatively new organization. I know when I was selected for the role I currently hold, I was not overly aware of what the Interdisciplinary Student Council was or what it did. And thankfully now I feel like I'm much more educated in that regard. And I think a great deal of that is because it is a newer organization. So it was operationalized in 2020 and 2021, so the last academic year. And this was through the guidance of the Office of the Vice Provost for Academic Affairs and Faculty Development, as well as the Office of Interdisciplinary Programs. And the two students who were really a driving force behind the establishment of the Interdisciplinary Student Council were Daniel Gibrelli and Sean Abbott. And I'm sure if you've been involved in interprofessional or interdisciplinary initiatives in the past, you've probably heard those names before. And this year is actually when we will be reaching our full sustainability. So it's very exciting to see not only what we did this past year, but also what we have moving forward as we reach that goal.
Well, thank you for that brief history of the ISC. I'm going to briefly talk about kind of what our vision and purpose is, as well as our mission and goals. So we really want to establish both an effective and efficient model that allows students to engage with the IEPA, and in doing so, really empower student leaders to not only initiate, but implement and grow IPE initiatives. Our core mission really is empowering students to improve and advance interdisciplinary education on the health sciences campus. Some of our broad goals that we have are providing insight from and advocating for the student body of each college. And in a few slides, you'll see how we go about doing that. We want to promote IED and IPE within each college and throughout campus as well. Really provide an opportunity for students to create sustainable and campus-wide ID, IPE. And then all of those in combination to grow, improve, and oversee existing ID, IPE initiatives. So here's a schematic of really how the ISC runs. So as Jeremiah mentioned earlier, the ISC is underneath the Student Faculty Committee. The chair and vice chair kind of lead the ISC, and we have numerous reps from colleges on the campus. So all colleges are represented. And then we also have a Lumina rep, which Lumina, if you don't know, is the LGBTQ advocacy group on campus. And then we have interprofessional education liaisons that are kind of the segue between us and the Student Government Association. We're now going to introduce our student reps, as well as our amazing faculty advisors. We really could not do nearly as much as we do without them. So I really am excited to introduce you guys to them and have them speak a moment. So Ruby, would you like to start off?
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Ruby Sheriff-Sandell, and I am the Interprofessional Education Project Coordinator within the Office of the Interdisciplinary Programs, within the Office of the Vice Provost for Academic Affairs and Faculty Development. I also have the honor to be the co-chair of the Student Faculty Committee, along with our amazing Ling Goldstein. And I'm super happy to be here today, just supporting our students and their amazing work. Dominique and Jeremiah have been doing amazing, just following up with everything IPE around campus. And I am so proud to be just part of this group with them. So I hope you enjoy the rest of this grand round. It's just amazing work highlighting everything that the students have done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby, for those kind words.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here and be a part of our first IPE student-led grand rounds. I'm very proud of what our student body together have put together tonight, and I hope that you will enjoy the presentation and to give you a highlight of what's to come in terms of interprofessional education on our campus. Did I introduce my name? My name is Lynn Goldstone. I'm the Executive Director for the College of Medicine and a member of the IEPA Executive Council.
Thank you, Lynn. So even though I already introduced myself, I'm going to do it again. My name is Dominique Roth. I am a fourth year pharmacy student, and I am the chair of the ISC.
And I will follow suit. Again, my name is Jeremiah McGuire. I am the vice chair for the Interdisciplinary Student Council. I'm my second year of the CPMA in dietetics and my first year of the MS in Nutritional Sciences at the College of Allied Health. And we are also very excited this evening to announce Sam Swafford, who has been selected to be our administrative chair after a few weeks of reviewing applicants. And we are thrilled to bring her on board, and we'd like to turn it over to her to introduce herself.
Hey everyone, my name is Sam Swafford and I'm a third year pharmacy student. I'm really looking forward to getting to work with everyone and to see these grand rounds kick off. Thank you.
I don't think Gabriella is here. Annie.
Can you guys hear me or see me?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I had a family ordeal, so I'm in my car. But yes, my name is Annie Doyle. I'm a second year PhD student in the Department of Microbiology and Immunology, and I am representing the graduate college.
Thank you. Emily, are you here?
Yes, hi, I'm Emily and I'm a third year dental student.
Thank you. Nadine.
Hi, I'm Nadine and I'm also a third year dental student.
Thank you. I don't believe Colton is here. Catherine.
Hi, my name is Katie Gill. I'm a first year PA student.
Thank you. And then I don't believe Lauren is here. Trenton.
Hey everybody, I'm Trenton and I am a third year pharmacy student.
Thank you. Gabby.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabby and I'm also a third year pharmacy student.
Thank you. Addison.
I'm not sure if she is here.
Yeah, I don't think so. Is David here?
Yes, I know.
I am here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm David. I am a third year medical school student and I represent the Lumina group.
Thank you, David. And then Rachel is not here, and I don't think Rhodes is either. Rachel and Rhodes are both our SGA liaisons, and I just realized I did not introduce the people that were not here, so I apologize. Gabriella is our College of Allied Health rep, and then Colton is our College of Medicine, the MD program rep, and Lauren is our College of Nursing rep, and Addison Davis is our College of Public Health.
And then we also wanted to take a moment to recognize Margaret Robinson, who's the Associate Director of the Office of Interdisciplinary Programs, as well as Sarah Cable, who is the Outreach Coordinator. Both of these individuals have been absolutely instrumental in all of the efforts that the ISC has undertaken from its development initially and listening to those student voices and how we can integrate them, and all the way up through all the events that have happened that we're going to talk about, as well as the future grand rounds in this presentation. So we would not be able to accomplish the things that we do without their support, and we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Margaret, do you want to say anything?
You know, I always do. So this is a great, exciting initiative that has been student-led. We're going to hear a little bit more about it, but I always get so excited when our participants take leadership in what we're doing. And this is going to be a great series that they have planned for the remainder of the year, and so excited to hear what they can do. So thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Margaret. Sarah, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Sure. It has just been so fantastic getting to work with both Jeremiah and Dominique and the rest of the ISC. We're really excited to be able to make this idea that we received last year a reality, and I'm really excited to see how the grand rounds continue throughout the year. So thanks for joining us today.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. All right. So before we kind of dive into what the grand rounds are going to look like, we really wanted to give you an idea of what the student council is working on currently and has worked on. So one of the projects that the ISC has been involved in is the Unity and Health Symposium. It's an event that is led by SGA, and with collaboration with the student council, we were able to help recruit panelists from each college as well as advertise the event to the campus. But this event really allows people of different backgrounds to have a seat at the table, and it's a great way to create empathy and understanding amongst different people on campus, and just kind of have those conversations that really allow us to get to know one another.
One of the other things that was accomplished over the last academic year, and we were just talking about how this very initiative, the Grand Rounds, was first proposed last year and is now developing. This is another one of those initiatives that I'm thrilled to talk about. And this is the 2S LGBTQ plus pilot simulation. So last academic year, this was developed really to expose health profession students, all the students on campus, to an underserved patient population that's just not routinely covered in your standard curriculum. And we were so lucky to have the 2S LGBTQ plus community really play an integral and active role in how this course was designed and how the content was going to be delivered. And I think that was ultimately very critical to the success of this simulation. So the pilot also, this is where we were able to collaborate with Lumina, and I just want to highlight for a moment the incredible work of David Soda, our Lumina rep, who has been instrumental in really making this a reality. And as I said, I'm thrilled that this was a pilot last year, and it was something that an IP initiative that was student-led that was then able to become a recurring part of our IP education. Margaret just said my sound keeps going in and out. I am very sorry about that. I'll be turning over to Dominique here in a second, and I'll see if I can get that figured out. But again, I think this is a shining example of how an IP initiative, an IP idea can be brought forth by a student and really blossom into something that has an impact across the campus.
So one of the next topics I'm going to talk about is the Great Debate. This was a brand new component of the Great Symposium that is put on by the Graduate College. This year's event is also a great highlight of how an idea can come forth from the ISC and kind of culminate and grow into an actual tangible event. So this was a debate that the grad college put on, and it was across all the different colleges on campus, and they all debated a single topic, and this was the English COVID vaccine trial and whether or not this was a good model for all trials. And it really showcased interprofessional communication and collaboration by having the teams having to research and present on given topics within that the English COVID trial topic. It really allowed them to communicate about areas of expertise and advocate for their ideas and perspectives as different healthcare workers. And I really want to highlight that this idea was proposed by Clayton Sandell, who was our graduate college representative last year. And he really came up with the idea and kind of brought it to the ISC. He was able to gauge interest amongst the different colleges, what the debate topic was. The English COVID vaccine trial was very applicable for everyone, as we all know why. And he was able to refer participants to debate teams from each college on campus and really served as kind of the man to go to when you had all these questions. So I really want to give a shout out to Clayton Sandell and all his work that he did on the great debate this last year. I also want to highlight the Interdisciplinary Student Council newsletter. So even though last year was the ISC's first year, there was still a need to highlight and showcase the different interdisciplinary events that were taking place on campus and by various people. We only published one newsletter last year, but it was a great way to kind of see what was going on campus, connect a face to a name. So you could reach out to your college, and if you had ideas, you could go to them and they could ultimately bring it back to the ISC. And it was just a great way to communicate and highlight and spotlight, honestly, students and all their contributions to interdisciplinary work. And we hope to continue these newsletters this semester, so be on the lookout.
All right, so next up is the Uni Clinic, and this is a IP initiative that I'm particularly passionate about. I also serve as the nutritional sciences representative for the Uni Clinic, and this was really my introduction to IP on the Health Science Center campus. So I took on the role at Uni Clinic this past December, and I highly doubt I would be in this role I am today if it weren't for that initial step. But that's definitely what drew me into IP, and I truly value and appreciate the work that is being done at the Uni Clinic. So one of the roles of the ISC with Uni Clinic, which is its own organization as well, but they our role at the ISC is really to ensure that every college is represented at the Uni Clinic on the Uni Clinic leadership team, so that when we are working with those patients in the clinic, we can ensure that each profession that is there has a voice and can impact how care is being provided at the clinic, whether that's things they need to provide optimal care for their profession or changes to the workflows. So we better be more inclusive of each of the roles of our healthcare providing students. So this past academic year at Uni Clinic, we had 500 students participate overall, as well as seeing 371 patients, which I think those numbers are truly incredible, not only for the impact we have on this campus in training healthcare students, but also the impact for the community. The patients at the Uni Clinic have little, if any, other means to access medical care, and certainly not this comprehensive in terms of the professions they have access to. So that's 371 people that ultimately we were able to help in their lives and in their community. So I think that's something that we really should be focusing on. So next up, we don't have a title slide for this, but it is the vaccine clinics. And this was another initiative that really the Uni Clinic was hugely instrumental in as well. So the ISC's role in these COVID-19 vaccine clinics last year, and there were some over the summer, and we're continuing this work this fall, was really to, again, assist in recruitment of volunteers to make sure that the professions across campus knew what was going on and how they could get involved in these if they wanted to. So we had partnerships out in the community. The Good Shepherd Clinic, which Uni Clinic operates under as well. This is the Cole Community Center. It's another site for Uni Clinic operations. And then a few different faith ministries that are out in the community. Again, just kind of highlighting what impact we can have through our IP initiatives, not only on our own education and growth as professionals, but also in the community at large. And through these efforts, and these are from, I believe, last academic year, so I'm sure this number has gone up since then, over 50,000 patients were vaccinated. And that, again, just like the patients at the Uni Clinic, they may not have gotten vaccinated otherwise. And there's no telling how much of an impact we had on public health, but it clearly was a monumental one.
And speaking of COVID-19 vaccines, the Student Council played a role in also the vaccine hesitancy town hall. This kind of came about, there was a need for a discussion of what exactly were people's vaccine hesitancies within the OU HSE campus. So over the course of a few weeks, the ISC, as well as numerous other disciplines, we were able to create a campus-wide survey that went out, and it kind of just asked what exactly are hesitancies with the vaccine. Is it safety, side effects, efficacy? So really getting, down to the root of what are these hesitancies. And through that survey, we were able to kind of tailor our town hall that we had over Zoom, and we talked about our personal experiences with the COVID vaccine and why we all decided to get vaccinated. And it was super impactful to me just because I am very pro-vaccine and have been involved with numerous COVID vaccine clinics, that we were able to have that really, that conversation with people and have just a real talk about what were hesitancies and how do you go about talking about those. So we're hoping to continue these town halls later on this academic year. And I'm really excited to be working with the team on that and kind of hopefully, getting our vaccine numbers up. And this is just something I've been really passionate about, so.
And I also had the privilege of assisting with some of the vaccine hesitancy meetings over the course of the summer. And actually we, with the help of Krista Bellick and V, I don't want to mispronounce the last name, but I believe it's Ding. We were able to, as an offshoot of that meeting, it was proposed that we maybe focus some bits of the town hall on how to talk to individuals, your loved ones who may be vaccine hesitant. And while that wasn't the topic of the first town hall, we took it upon ourselves to go back and draft a pamphlet that people could use in talking to their loved ones who may be vaccine hesitant, and the best way to go about that. So I was able to assist in that, and I don't believe it's been distributed yet, but we cover 10 myths or facts you don't know about the COVID vaccines. We talk about how to talk to your loved ones about being vaccine hesitant. We talk about different reasons people are vaccine hesitant. And through the marketing department as well, we have created an incredible pamphlet. We would have included it, but like I said, I don't know if it's being distributed yet. So that's something to look forward to at those next town halls. And I believe there is one scheduled next month that does talk more about talking to individuals who are vaccine hesitant. So definitely looking forward to that and thrilled to have been a part of this project.
For sure. And this was such a great opportunity to really have interactions with multiple disciplines across campus. There were a lot of people I met through this town hall that I never would have had the opportunity to meet had we not all been on this town hall. So I'm very thankful for it. And it was such a great experience. And before I get into the origins of the Grand Round idea, I just wanted to say thank you to our past reps. I know they're not here, but their work and continued diligence with the Student Council really has made it what it is today. And we couldn't have, we couldn't be where we are without them. So I just want to give a shout out to them, as well as Daniel and Sean, for all their continued work and vision of the ISC. They weren't able to be here today, but I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. And then as well as, our amazing team, Sarah, Margaret, Lynn, and Ruby. You guys are truly so amazing, and I appreciate all your help with all the questions we have. So thank you. And I'm really excited to kind of talk about the origins of the Grand Rounds. So Daniel and Sean had this original concept of the Grand Rounds, where two or more professions presented content applicable to a team-based treatment approach. So the idea was to have a monthly seminar that would be held at a different college each month. And this would allow students the opportunity to really engage with the presented content in the same area that their peers learn in. So not only that, but I don't know about you guys, I have not stepped foot in some of the colleges on campus. And so this was going to be a great way to kind of tour these colleges and kind of just get an idea of what a typical day looks like for, students in the College of Dentistry, or what a day looks like at the College of Medicine. A little thing called COVID hit. And unfortunately, we can't be in person, but the idea was this would be in person, and really a great way to kind of really connect and just be around our peers that are in different disciplines. And our vision that we have for the Grand Rounds now kind of expands upon this original scope that Daniel and Sean had.
So as we look forward to the future of the interdisciplinary grand rounds, it's almost as if we're interpreting the definition of grand rounds a little differently, because when you think of that, you do think of doing rounds in a hospital and looking at different patients. However, for us, it's really a grand rounds of IPE and interdisciplinary initiatives on campus. What we really want this to be is a showcase of the work and the incredible efforts of the students on campus, because there are so many different things happening that often are not on the radars of the campus community as a whole, and it ends up being isolated within that group of students, or within that department, or within that college. And we would really like to draw that out and bring it front and center into the spotlight for the campus. And in doing so, obviously, we want to improve the innovation and collaboration that we have in the interdisciplinary and interprofessional education space. So the idea is that future grand rounds will highlight this, and if they are pertaining to a patient, that is still completely okay. But we also need to acknowledge that there are some professions or disciplines on campus, particularly thinking of the graduate college, who may not be in that direct clinical environment, but may still be involved or in the planning stages of an interprofessional initiative. And we want them to have a space to highlight that as well. And in doing so, we hope to not only increase recruitment for their initiative and obviously engagement, as well as expand it so we can allow these things to flourish on our campus, as well as their effects that they're having in the community. And even if it is just a proposal, it may just be a wish, like some of the things we talked about that were still just an idea last academic year that are now coming to fruition. We'll have a space for that to be broadcast, so we can bring people on board who are passionate and driven about the project and really see our impact on the campus and in the community at large. So for the rest of this semester, we are anticipating all of the interdisciplinary grand rounds being on Zoom, again, due to the pandemic, as almost all things are nowadays. However, it is absolutely something that we will return to the in-person learning environment as we progress through the pandemic and are able to have those types of gatherings again. And they'll be held on the third Thursday evening of each full month of the academic year. So we'll have one in October, one in November, one in February, March, and April. And then we'll also be hosting them over the summer. So we'll have one the third Thursday of June and July as well. So we'll have a total of 8 throughout the academic year that we'll be using to highlight and showcase, again, new initiatives, as well as ongoing projects, and really dive in deep with those individuals, how they develop it, how they can bring other people on board, and how we can make this even more impactful than it already is.
So now we're just going to talk about some opportunities for getting involved and moving forward with the Interdisciplinary Student Council.
So I wanted to take this one because, as I already mentioned, this was really my integration into IP was through the Uni Clinic. So the clinic operates on Wednesday and Thursday evenings and Friday mornings at Good Shepherd, as well as Cole Community Center. And there's also the community vaccine clinics. And there are just so many prospects on the horizon for Uni Clinic as well. The mobile clinic, and some of the stuff that the pharmacy students were able to do in terms of dispensing medication. I mean, this is such a good clinical environment for interprofessional education. And I have never had an experience at Uni Clinic that I didn't feel was fruitful in regards to my understanding of the other disciplines that I get to work with and the other students on campus. So I would highly encourage you, if you're interested at all in the Uni Clinic, to reach out to Tramley. She is the chair for the Uni Clinic for this year, and she'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction of who you need to talk to get on board with some of the ongoing activities there.
Next up, we have some virtual interdisciplinary simulations. So I know Jeremiah talked about the TOS LGBTQ community informed simulation. That was last year, it was only a few times, but now we are doing it every month. So if you are interested in doing that simulation, you can go to the ipe.ou.hsc.edu/student/simulation and sign up for that. And there's also some other simulations that you can do: delivering bad news, self-advocate as medical educator, family advocate as medical educator, and then poverty simulation. These are all virtual, and they allow you to kind of practice these skills in a safe environment and allow you to become a more well-rounded healthcare provider. So I'm really looking forward to these. I haven't done one yet, but I'm definitely eyeing the October date for the 2S LGBTQ and hoping I can work it into my rotation schedule. Another great event to get involved with is the big event. And in case you don't know this, this is OU's it's big day of giving back to the community. This is normally done in the spring, but because of student input, they decided to actually move it to the fall now. This year's big event is going to be on Saturday, November 6th, 2021. And then signups to volunteer will actually open this upcoming Monday. So check your email. They'll probably be in the HSC Daily News. But I love the big event. It's such a great way to give back to the community. Every community service event I've done has been so fun. One year we helped paint and remodel an office building in downtown OKC. Another year we helped at the Oklahoma City Alzheimer's Association and helped to do that. I've done we played bingo at a nursing home. So it's such a fun way to give back to the community. And it's a day I always look forward to every year. So I definitely recommend signing up for it. It's such a fun day.
And we also have the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Unlearning Series that is going on this fall. So this is open to students, faculty, and staff. And each of these workshops really unpacks a different element of the Unlearning Series, unlearning those inherent biases that, I mean, they're inherent. And this can really allow us to focus in on that. And really, it's really about personal growth, and then allowing that personal growth to impact those around you. Because if you never take the time to really sit down and think about some of these things, they won't be nearly as meaningful or impactful as they can be. So I definitely would encourage, if you're available during the times of the workshops, to attend and really dive in depth into some of these things, and they will absolutely be able to help you grow as a person. So the next session that is upcoming is October 12th, and that is going to be the Unlearning Ableism presentation for the Unlearning Series.
So first off, I just want to say, just thank you all for attending the first session of our interdisciplinary grand rounds. We appreciate your attendance today. We want to invite you to our next interdisciplinary grand round next Thursday. I'm so sorry, it has been a long day. Thursday, October 21st, for our next session. The details have not been announced yet, but we're hoping to finalize those within the next week. So if there is anyone that is super passionate about an interdisciplinary activity that they're doing, please feel free to reach out to Jeremiah and I, and we can definitely get some ideas flowing and see what we can do for the next October grand round. If you have any questions, Jeremiah and I are going to stick around after this presentation, but we did include our contact information. So if you have a question that you think about later, please feel free to email one of us, or if you're just curious about what interprofessional education the campus is doing, our website is a great resource to kind of see what we're doing. And our contact information is on that website as well. Do you have anything to say, Jeremiah?
I think you summed it up incredibly well, Dominique, but I can always add a few words. Again, thank you everyone for coming to this inaugural event. I do hope that this was helpful in understanding the ISC, where we came from, where we are now, and where we're moving forward to the future. We have a lot of our reps on the call as well, and they are the best resource for your college and relaying that information to the ISC. And then we can open up those channels of communication between what's going on with the IEPA and the faculty at the faculty level with interprofessional education, and how we can incorporate some of these new initiatives or improve some of the programs we already have going on. So like Dominique said, for the next grand rounds, we are willing, any student is able to host it as long as we have students from more than one profession. They're more than capable of hosting it. We would work with them to help with the design and implementation of their IP initiative, whether it is in the proposal stage and they're just looking to gauge interest and really draw attention to it, or whether it's fully to fruition and they just want to highlight some of their work. So I encourage you, if you do know any student like that, to pass along their information to Dominique and I.
And with that, we just want to thank you again for attending. We hope you have a great rest of your evening.